Okay, in this section, we're going to go through building a website. This website will be a superhero website based on a character. The first thing we're going to do is create a character name. We're going to use a name generator function to create that name. So here we have some code that's going to generate a random adjective with a random animal and put a number on it. So let's go ahead and hit the run button. And will be Tart Lemore 89. So now that we've got the name, we're going to create a heading in our HTML with that name. So we'll go over to our HTML page and we'll type in H1 for heading, and then we'll type Tart Lemore 89 and in H1. And that's our start to our first web page. We'll call the title of the page Tart Lemore 89. Next, we need to create an origin story. So we're going to use a Mad Libs generator to create our origin story, just to make it simple. You can type whatever you want, but just to make things fun, we're going to use this Mad Lib story generator. So we'll type our character name, Tart Lemore 89, and his alias, let's call him Tarty, or let's call him Lem for Lemore. And planet name, let's say Mars. Person name, let's say Jim. Second, Jane. Adjective, green. And an object, let's say hammer. And click generate. And Tart Lemore 89 is born as Lem on the alien planet Mars. His parents, Jim and Jane, become aware of a green planet Earth. Jim sent Lem to the planet Earth to become a superhero. Lem is known as Tart Lemore 89 on planet Earth and has superhuman powers. Tart Lemore 89 cares about the planet Earth and uses a hammer to ward off evildoers and keep the peace. So that's our origin story. So what we're going to do is in our HTML page, we're going to create a heading 3 and call it origin story. And then we're going to create a paragraph, and we're going to put the first part of the origin story in that paragraph. So we'll just copy this using Control C or Command C and paste that in our HTML file. And then we're going to create another paragraph, and we're going to copy the second paragraph here from our generator, and we're going to place that in our HTML file. And then you can see on the right we have our name and we have our origin story, and we're ready to do the next section. So we need superpowers, and to add superpowers, we want to build an unordered list of items. To build an unordered list of items, we basically use the UL element, and then inside the UL element we add LIs for each item, which stands for list item. So let's go ahead and do that. Let's create a list of superpowers for Tart Lemore. We'll give a heading 3, call it Superpowers. And then we'll create our unordered list using the UL element. and then we'll say list item, or li, and we'll say flies, can fly. Then we'll say X-ray vision. And we'll say faster than a speeding bullet. Can shoot lasers from eyes. And that's a good amount of superpowers. That may sound familiar to some of you guys, but basically we've got a few. Why don't you take the time now and create your superpowers for your character? In the next section, we want to build an avatar. To build an avatar, we're going to use an HTML image element. This image element has a new item that we're going to be introduced to called an attribute. The image SRC, or source attribute, contains a link or URL to a particular image. In this case, this link and it's broken, so let's go ahead and fix that. Let's find an image of images Simpsons. Okay. And then let's find an image for Lisa Simpson there. View image. So here we have a link to an image of Lisa Simpson. Now we can go into our JSBin example here and paste that link in the source area. And now we have an image for Lisa Simpson on our little sample page here. So what we're going to do is go through the process of creating a avatar. Just click on the Sigfig creator and walk through that process. And when you're done, you're going to create a image that has an icon. That icon will provide a link like the one here below. And you can copy that image address. And then on your web page for your superhero, let's go and create an H3 heading and say photo H3, and then we'll type img for our image tag, source equals, and we'll paste our URL, and then we'll close this image tag with the slash and the greater than. And that's just a shortcut command for /img. So far, so good. Keep in mind that our unique web page is named up here at the top. So we'll want to keep that in mind as we give that to the teacher so that they can build a list of our superheroes on a separate index page. So now we're going to learn a little bit about CSS. With CSS, which stands for Cascading Style Sheets, you can change the format of your HTML page. In this example, we're going to change the background color to yellow. So in our HTML document here, we can just click on the CSS tab up at the top. You can hide the HTML tab, and we can go ahead and just type body and background color and say yellow. And you can see that our background changes yellow because we specified the background color for the body element, which is here on line 8. Now we could create a file for .css, and that's what this is doing, and we could link it to there. But for this example, we're just going to type the CSS in our CSS tab up here. So now that we have the body, let's change our heading 1 tag to purple. H1, color, purple, and font size 4EM. So 4EM will make it 4 times bigger than the base. 1EM is the base size. So if we do 1, that's the base size. And then if we do 2, it gets a little bigger, 3, 4, so on and so forth. We can get as big as we want, but we'll stop at 4. That's a pretty good size. And now let's do a formatting of a paragraph. So we can do something as simple as make our text underlined by using the text decoration element of CSS. Just setting it to underline. And we can change the font. So we can say font family Arial. Pretty cool. So in this exercise, why don't you go to your HTML page and set a background color, change the color of your heading 1, and play around with font family and font size.